Today, the Justice Department arrested Jack Douglas Teixeira in connection with an investigation into alleged unauthorized removal, retention, and transmission of classified national defense information. Teixeira is an employee of the United States Air Force National Guard. FBI agents took Teixeira into custody earlier this afternoon without incident.
How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about a 21-year-old National Air Guardsman or reservist by the name of Jack Teixeira, who has been arrested on federal charges which amount to essentially espionage for leaking highly classified documents to the internet through an online platform called Discord. Now, there's quite a few questions here that you may have. Who is this guy? Why was a 21-year-old low-ranked reservist able to get all these documents? Why did he post them online? What's going on here? Now, first things first. Yes, he was a reservist. Yes, he was low ranked, but he worked in the intelligence wing out there at the air base in Cape Cod. And their whole purpose is to see what's happening in the airspace, any kind of threats, whatever's going on. And as a result, he had the highest security clearance and he had access to JWICS. Now, this thing is a worldwide system where you can see all of what's happening in airspace. You know a lot about different aircraft. You know a lot about different things. He had access to all types of documents, including the daily presidential briefing. Now, should he have had access to that? Maybe, maybe not. But he didn't breach anything. There was no hacking going on. He was given access to that because he was basically the IT guy. Now, obviously, you can't be posting stuff on Discord or anywhere else because it's top secret. So he made a terrible error right there, and he's probably going to go to the penitentiary for a long time. He's facing 15 years on federal charges, and they may actually, rather than having Fed charges, it could be going to the military court, which is a whole different story and different ball of wax. So I digress. The whole point is he is in really big trouble for what he did. Now, why did he do what he did? How did he do this? What's going on? Well, he was part of a community of, I guess you would say, gamers or young men that saw him as a father figure. There was an interview with a guy who was like 18. I'll link to that in the description. But there was a whole community of people. They would go there all the time. Jack Teixeira was known in the group as quote unquote OG. And these young men would come to him with their issues or any kind of triumphs and whatever. And a perk of being in that community on Discord was that he would post classified documents on that channel. Now, everyone was sworn to secrecy, but of course, guys are going to be leaking stuff. And that's what happened. Somebody started taking screenshots and posting them online. And then it spread like wildfire. It was on Telegram. It was all over the place. Then it got posted on Twitter. I think maybe even YouTube as well. And of course, the feds found this guy at his mom's house. Now, I think there were other people like Redditors and whatnot that found him before the federal rallies got there. But I don't know. You see, I'm hearing different things. I'm hearing that the feds had been surveilling him and they already knew about where he was at, but they wanted to get him at the right moment rather than when they did. You see, there was footage released. I probably played that at the very beginning where he's in his red basketball shorts. That was at his mom's house in Massachusetts where he was living, I suppose. They wanted to get him somewhere else, but because the internet's worked so quickly and you had people showing up to his house, news reporters and whatnot, they had to go ahead and get him right there. So that's that. That's how they got him. That's why he put that stuff online. And now he's facing a long time in the penitentiary, 15 years or more. I saw 15 years, and then I saw he could face 10 years per document. Either way, he's pretty much toast. His goose is cooked, to say the least. Now, next question. What was in the documents? Why is it a big deal? Why is this considered the biggest data breach in the past 10 years of U.S. history? Well, let's get into it. What are the takeaways from this particular thing? Let's get into it. This article I'll link to in the description. I'll link to all things in the description. Here's one right here. I'm gonna just kind of go through it point by point. I may not read the entire thing, but the documents that he posted revealed Western special forces in Ukraine. Okay, how many of them there were, where they came from. So it's almost 100 special forces in Ukraine, and I think half of them came from the United Kingdom. And then there were many others that came from one of the Baltic states. I want to say Latvia. Yeah, see, according to elite documents, Latvia, a country of population of fewer than 2 million people, had 17 personnel, the second highest number of special forces deployed in Ukraine out of the NATO countries. And that's pretty important because Latvia is a former Soviet republic, if I'm not mistaken, and it's right there bordering Russia. So that's a really big political thing. Okay, the U.S. and France had 14 and 15 respectively. So Netherlands had one special forces person out there in Ukraine. Okay, these documents are posted online. Now, Serbia agreed to arm Ukraine, and I think Serbia had refused to, I don't know, sanction or speak against Russia in a certain kind of way, but they also said they were going to arm Ukraine. That's a pretty big thing right here. Okay, matter of fact, let's read this right here. According to another leaked Pentagon document dated March 2nd, Serbia, which has refused to sanction Russia for its invasion of Ukraine, agreed to supply arms to Kiev and may have sent them out already. All right. The document summarizes European government's responses to Ukraine's request for military training and lethal aid or weapons. It was labeled no foreign, which means it was not allowed to be distributed to foreign intelligence agencies and militaries. All right. So, but Serbia did not want to give them military training. So they kind of just on the fence. Egypt is in the mix. I've not heard about Egypt at all in this whole kerfuffle. I've heard about European nations, the U.S., etc. Egypt, they're involved with it as well. So check it out. One leaked document dated February 17th and obtained by the Washington Post appeared to show that Egypt planned to supply Russia with rockets and munitions. According to the leak, Egypt's president Abdel Fattah al-Sisi is said to have instructed officials to keep production and shipment secret to avoid problems with the West. Well, if that's an accurate document, hey, we got a problem now. They're going to deny it, of course, but why would they admit it when the whole purpose of them saying that they wanted to keep it secret was keep it secret? Why would you say, let's keep it secret, and then when you get revealed, when you get exposed, you say, oh, nah, you know what? Yeah, we did say that. We were trying to keep it under wraps. Denied till you die. That's what's going on. All right. So that's that right there. That's going to be a problem. If they're arming Russia and they get $1.3 billion in aid from the U.S., that's going to be an obvious issue. I guess Egypt will be seen as a U.S. ally. And if they do things like that with Russia, that's going to be a big problem. All right. So some of the documents reveal espionage tactics the U.S. uses in relation to the war in Ukraine. Oh, here's one right here that I read. If proven authentic, they show that the U.S. had been monitoring Ukrainian President Zelensky's calls with defense and military officials. They also reveal apparent weaknesses in the Ukrainian air defense systems and the size of the military battalions. One thing I heard in the news is that Ukraine was running low on ammunition. That was very important. That's going to be a big detail for Russian operatives to understand. Okay, you guys don't have enough ammunition. You guys are not going to be able to defend yourselves. We could just go rush you right now, and you don't have enough firepower to ward us off. Okay, so this is a really big leak. They continue. They also suggest that the U.S. had penetrated the Russian military forces and the Wagner group, a mercenary organization, much more than previously understood. Of course, you know, they always do that. That's the U.S. military for you. They're going to be all over the place. The federales are going to be everywhere. Any of these little groups like this, you think you want to join it and you want to be some kind of different kind of guy? Nah, they're gonna know what's really happening and what's cracking. Anyway, another purported highly classified Pentagon document reveals Russian operatives were building a close relationship with the UAE, which hosts important U.S. military installations. The UAE rejected the allegations, calling them categorically false. Hey, I mean, if documents are proven to be authentic, what are they going to say at that point? Of course, they don't want the U.S. to understand that. They don't want them to know that. But if it's real, it's real. And then my thing is, if the U.S. had these documents and they already knew this, then what are we doing about it? Nothing at all. Other leaks have concerned allegations that South Korean leaders were hesitant to ship military shells to Ukraine and that Israel's Mossad spy service opposed Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's proposed overhaul of the judiciary. Okay, U.S. intelligence talked about North Korea and the military parade is not really a big deal. Yeah, I mean, everybody knows that. The military parade is just them trying to saber rattle to no real effect. That's not really a thing. So that's that. I'm sure there's more from the documents that I have not spoken about here, but that's the general gist of it. 21 years old. Some say he was too young, but the military is young people. You could retire from the military after 20 years in your 30s. You could be my age right now. I'm 38. I'll be 39 this year, 40 next year. You could be my age, be retired. The military is going to be young guys, 18, 19, 20, 21. If you join the military at age 29, you're ancient. So yeah, it's going to be young guys, especially in the tech side of things. You want to get the young guys. You want to get the Reddit guys, the Discord guys. These guys are going to be sharp. They're going to be brilliant. They're going to be great assets to you when you're talking about defense, when you're talking about any kind of technological operations. They're going to be a valuable resource. However, there's still an issue with some of these young men not having a sense of purpose or not really understanding the scope of what they're doing. Some say it could have been compromised from the outside. It could have been some foreign agency, some foreign intelligence that infiltrated the Discord server. You never know. You never know. I think as I close, the military needs to get a little bit sharper when it comes to things like this and understand these guys are going to be out here doing certain things. A lot of misguided young men that don't understand what's going on. You got to be a little bit tighter. Some are going to say that it was a good thing because it exposed what's happening and it kind of defused World War III. That is a discussion, a talking point that could be true or it may not be true. But I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? How do you feel about what's going on here with the young National Air Guardsmen reservists leaking all these documents? Is it a good thing, bad thing? Does it show incompetence in the U.S. military? Whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments below. You guys know where I'm at. I think his age is not really relevant because the military is young guys. I think that it shows some weaknesses in the military. You got a very low-ranked person has not proven themselves in this position to have access to all this information. Again, there was no hack. There was no breach. He had a very high security clearance. He had access to it that was given to him by the government. Should he have had it? Should he not have had it? Why wouldn't you have it when you're working in that wing of the military dealing with intelligence? You got to have that particular thing. What more can be done to fix this or prevent it from happening again in the future? Whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.